everybody, and welcome to the final segment, episode 11 of the Mega Gamecast. In this episode, we're going to talk about some questions and feedback we've gotten from the community. You can submit your own questions on our Tumblr. That's megagamecast.tumblr.com. You can respond. You can submit the questions anonymously if you want to, but if you want your name read on during recording, you're going to have to sign it or sign in with your Tumblr account, just so we know who you are. Otherwise, you're just going to come up as anonymous. So the first one we have up here is from our very own Hector. Not really a question. Talk about fighting games. A lot coming out this year. Also, why are Mika butt slap should be put back in? Okay.
Okay, that's I can see some grammatical errors in that statement.
I'm of course reading these verbatim. No, no fluffing up or anything like that. Well, let's talk about fighting games.
All right.
Well, we don't like fighting games, so next question.
No, honestly, when I was a kid, well, I would say that was probably one of my top 3 favorite genres. And a lot of that came down to my parents not letting me get them until I was like 10 years old.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of like that thing that was just out of my reach.
Sure.
And when I finally got it, I remember I got Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Oh, okay.
And that was
Okay.
awesome. I spent hours on it. And
I was going to say,
beat
I
it
could
many
see why
times.
they wouldn't want you to get like Mortal Kombat or
Yeah,
something.
I was
No,
going to
exactly.
say, yeah.
Well, yeah, they let me get Street Fighter. They didn't let me get Mortal Kombat till like 6th grade, maybe like
No.
12, 13.
Well,
But,
yeah, I would hope not.
But it was
I would-
but it's one of those things, some kids at school were allowed to have it, and they were like, "Dude, Mortal Kombat's so cool."
Mortal Kombat's so cool. Yeah, Mortal Kombat, you can...
Yeah, but their
Mortal Kombat.
parents probably sucked.
What? Come on, Sai.
Recently, wow, Sai. Let's see, recent games. I played Mortal Kombat X that came out last year. I thought that was a blast. Aaron Black, the best character.
Okay.
Let's see. I played Street Fighter 4. It was pretty good. It was kind of like Street Fighter 2 with like updated graphics.
Mm-hmm.
I played some Injustice, Gods Among Us, which I'm shocked that Sai's never played because it's got all your DC
Oh, yeah, that's
characters in there with all these pretty cool ass moves actually, and
Yeah.
it's got a very in-depth, deep storyline. So you should give that a try. Actually, you might be impressed with it.
I might do that, Drew.
It's got Batman, dude, Nightwing. It's got all these guys in it.
I'm very
Superman.
aware. I'm very aware of what the game has, but yeah, I might actually give it a try. I'm not a huge fan of fighting games. I did back in the day love playing Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, that's
in fact, if
another
I ever
one,
got
yeah.
the chance, I still might. I loved all the Nintendo characters just going at it in a free-for-all battle. So, I was a fan. I never really liked any of the Mortal Kombats or Street Fighters, mostly because my parents, like yours, would not let get them for me, and I really didn't show much interest.
Yeah,
in
see,
them.
that was the thing. I wanted to play them though. Like it was one. It was. I
Yeah.
just,
So
Yeah,
it's like...
me, I was indifferent.
once
about
I got it out of my system, it's like, all right, this becomes repetitive. Unless you really invest your time into it.
Sure. Yeah, I guess that's probably where I'm coming from. I've
Like some Tekken, some Virtua Fighter. Like I've played a lot of those games over the years. It's just
I played... I remember playing Mortal Kombat 2 on Sega Genesis.
Yep.
And I remember playing Shaq Fu as well on Sega Genesis.
Shaq Fu.
I'm excited for Shaq Fu 2, and even though it's not going to be a fighting game, it's going to be like a beat 'em up.
Was the first Shaq Fu a fighting game?
yeah, it was.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a
Oh, I
fighter.
thought it was an
sent to a-
adventure game. Oh.
No.
Shaq is sent to an alternate dimension, and he has to fight these monsters.
Yeah.
What else could be more realistic than that?
And apparently, Xbox One's. Well, I guess it's on the PC too. But
Killer Instinct.
yeah, I've heard good things about that.
Yeah, people seem to like that. They're kind of doing it's like a free to play model with that, where they add fighters in and
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
like that over time, as opposed to just like MKX where you just buy it outright or something.
Well,
like
I guess
that.
they've been calling it the first batch. They call the Killer Instinct Season
Yeah,
1.
every year or something.
Yeah.
It's a new season.
So this year it's Season 3 apparently.
Yep.
So no,
Yeah,
I
so
have
that's a
nothing
pretty
against.
good- yeah.
And I actually give people credit who sit there and actually master them because I know it takes some real skill to master. Especially, I think Street Fighter has like the big old combos. Their most recent Mortal Kombat, you could tell they've kind of streamlined it a little bit, made it more accessible for people who don't play them all the time.
Yeah, they made like simple fatalities, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you can you can just hit one button once you get to a certain thing, but nowadays you can look up the move lists
Oh, sure. It's like a completely different.
Yeah, back
time.
in the day, we couldn't look up move lists. We had to kind of
maybe you'd have
figure it out.
Maybe you'd have it scraped into your local arcade cabinet or something like that. Here's Liu Kang's Dragon Fatality or something like that. Which I did play some fighting games in arcades.
Yeah, that was
sure.
Tekken. I remember playing a lot of Tekken in an arcade.
Okay.
And I think probably Mortal Kombat as well. Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess I played some Street Fighter 2 on Sega. For me, they just, like Drew kind of alluded to, they're very repetitive, and repetition in video games really gets to me after a while. Like, I like, this is one of the reasons, and I've said this before, that I tend to sometimes not even finish games because they get too repetitive, and, you know, new games come out, so I'm always looking for a new experience, even if, you know, if I'm totally pulled into a game, I will definitely finish it. But yeah, repetition gets to me. So fighting games just don't really do it for me. But you know, if you guys, what about Street Fighter 5? Anybody?
I'm
Nope. Okay.
Cautiously optimistic. I think it might be good, but at the same time, like, dude, they came out with, it seems like 10 versions of Street Fighter 4.
Yeah.
So they're probably gonna milk Street Fighter 5 for all it's worth too. But honestly, it's probably gonna be successful.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people are looking forward to it.
I personally, nowadays, back in the day, I would have said I like Street Fighter over MK, but these days, I think I'm more of a Mortal Kombat fan. I think it has a more smoother, balanced fighting system. Mm-hmm. But I know we're gonna have a lot of dudes, and there's a lot of PlayStation fans very excited. They got their exclusivity with the Street Fighter, so
maybe we'll have.
I'm not one of those fans, by the way.
Maybe we'll have.
We can tell, man.
Mr. Hector Olvera on the podcast when Street Fighter comes out, so he can chat a little bit about it.
Yeah, no, I'd like to. I want to hear like from a real fighting fan, like what it is about it that keeps them into it. Well, see, I used to be really into wrestling games too, and I guess you can consider that fighting game.
Right. It's also
comparable.
like, actually, come to think about it, I used to play boxing video games a lot, so I guess in a sense you could consider those.
Yeah, and you play sports games, man. That's repetitive as shit. So,
With that in mind, Ryan, why don't we continue?
All right. Question numero 2. This is from Kevin Ellison, who is a writer on the GamerHolics. He sent in a question that says, do any of you have a certain strength, weakness in video games? For example, I have like a 2% falling rate on platform games. In fighting games, if my opponent sidestep, my entire fighting plan flies out the window. LOL, it messes me up so badly.
So what is he saying, that he never dies in platforming games only 2% of the time?
I guess that's what I'm going to take that as.
So he's a pretty good platform
I have like a 2%
game.
falling. Yeah, he's good at platformer games, but not very good at fighting games, which is kind of where I'm coming from too.
Yeah, we know.
I mean, I don't play him, so how could I get good at them?
Well, we know Ryan's like really good at his. Yeah, I mean, you beat Ori, which
right.
Well, apparently a lot of people
I definitely didn't have a 2% fall rate. I died a lot in that game.
Well, you kept at it. So
yeah. No, I mean, totally.
Well, hey, practice takes perfect, man.
In terms of strengths, I guess I would say platforming I'm pretty good at. I'm pretty good at RPGs, like understanding, getting in and understanding all of the mechanics of certain RPGs and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I guess
all right.
That's what I would say my biggest strengths are. Weaknesses, I think I have poor reaction time. I know that. That's one of the reasons why I stopped playing online first-person shooters.
Yeah.
I mean, combine that with the lag. And
I was gonna say, I think the lag doesn't help.
Yeah, I couldn't keep up. So I just phased out of those. I still like first-person shooters, like single-player stuff. So I still do.
Which is kind of weird, like, because you're really good at platformers, which I feel like that kind of takes some reaction time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it does. But
maybe
like I said, I don't.
Kind. Yeah.
I'm not. I don't have a 2% fall rate.
So,
like even if I die, I still keep going at platformers though, because I enjoy playing them.
Yep.
What about you, Drew? What are your strengths and weaknesses?
I would say I'm pretty good at third-person shooters specifically. I find that having more, I don't know, being able to see more of the environment. You can flip the camera all around, and I'm pretty good at getting headshots and being able to see the whole field of enemies. You know, when to duck. You know, specifically cover-based third-person shooters. You know, I'm pretty good at balancing out when to take cover, when to take my shots,
Specifically
when to throw my
Uncharted.
grenades. No, not just Uncharted. Like quite a few. I have quite a few in my repertoire. You know, including third-person open world games.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I'd say I'm really good at Uncharted, The Last of Us, things like that. I'm all right at sports games like basketball and football, I guess, depending. Let's see.
What about weaknesses?
Weaknesses, RPGs for sure.
Okay.
And that's more or less in my attention span.
All right.
And kind of like diving into all those menus. It's a mix of like not really overwhelmingness, but it's like, I just want to play the game.
You just don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You just don't like dealing with the dialogue options.
Not that,
No. I don't
not that you
mind.
can't figure it out. It's just like you don't want to.
Yeah, it's more I just got to sit
I
down
get
and
that, yeah.
take more time and learn, you know.
That's what
And,
I like about them. It's like, here's
yeah.
a new RPG that I get to learn.
Yeah, so
figure out.
you enjoy,
Yeah.
I kind of like just playing the game, you know, and letting things flow.
Yeah.
You know, I enjoy problem solving and stuff, but I like doing that in
the game.
Kind of like how Darksiders is you're problem solving in the game. You're trying to figure out this environment puzzle and how you're going to get around it
All right.
and what you're going to do with it, stuff like that. But yeah, so I guess RPGs and I don't know, some first-person shooters I would say I'm not the greatest at.
Okay.
It depends. Yeah, and I'm actually all right at third-person shooting online and not that great at first-person shooters online.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, so like I said, for some reason my strength lies more with third-person as opposed to first.
I would.
For whatever reason.
I can't imagine having anything to do with auto aim.
With what?
Auto aim.
No, it doesn't actually. No, because
I imagine in a third-person shooter, there's a lot more auto aim than
there is, but
first person.
I actually switch auto aim off for most of my.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah.
Even in third-person games? Wow.
Yeah.
And you can't.
Specifically.
What if you turn it?
Specifically,
and if you turn it off in
games.
first person?
Oh no, first person. Well, I mean, it kind of still snaps,
Yeah.
but no, it's a little harder in first person if you turn it off for sure.
Okay.
But I don't know. For some reason, I don't like when the gun just snaps to the enemies in third person. I like
Usually
being
it
able
works
to
out,
free
but there
aim.
are some times when like an enemy runs across
Yeah.
between you and the thing you're aiming at, and your
Yeah.
gun starts trailing off, and it's like, fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I get that.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it was because of like Uncharted, though. Uncharted has no aim assist option.
Okay.
So it kind of forced me to learn how to, you know, aim on my own, I guess. Things like that. So,
Okay.
And I don't know. It's been a while since I've played like good platformers, so I would assume I'm not that great at them these days. You know, so I guess I'd say that's a weakness. But yeah, go ahead, Si.
All right.
Well, for strengths, I want to say RPG mechanics, just like Ryan. I feel like I have a very vast understanding of them. I've played multiple RPG games in my lifetime. Let's see, Deus Ex, for example, Fallout. You know, when it comes to those games, I really enjoy them. I like story-based games, and I really understand the mechanics of them, and I just love following them. I'm also pretty good at sports games. I have a really huge sports acumen. I know specifically professional sporting games. Like, I know all the moves. I know what players to use. I know what plays to call.
Even though I whoop you in NBA, but continue.
Well, that's different. You play the 95-96 Bulls. So and you have Michael Jordan.
Air Jordan.
And you were playing as the 80s Celtics, which are arguably better.
85-86
Which
Celtics.
are arguably better.
They are arguably
continue.
the two best teams, but let's move on. When it comes to weaknesses, when it comes to online first-person shooters, Ryan, I'm not that good. I am kind of, I don't want to say lousy, but I'm very mediocre. Like, I never have a high kill-to-death ratio.
Okay.
I usually die
More
more
times
than I have. I usually have more deaths than more kills. Maybe it's because I have a poor hand-eye coordination or reaction time. I don't know.
I think that's what
or maybe
my
I'm
problem
just
is.
too overly cautious. Like, I'm always wondering who's
yeah.
behind my back. I don't rush into the action.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of the opposite there, where I run around constantly because I'm so pissed that I just died that I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to get to, and then I
Right, and
run
I
in
don't
get
want to be a
shot in the back.
camper. I don't want to be
See,
behind the scenes and just waiting for a guy to walk by and
Yeah.
shoot him. That's cheap.
that's why I guess I prefer third person, because you can see if a guy is about to flank you,
Yeah,
as
that's
opposed
true.
to first person.
You have more
You only
of a
see what's
view.
in front of you. And like I don't know, especially online, you don't really get much of a cover system really in first-person games.
Yeah.
But in third person, at least you can take cover.
Yeah.
You know,
so yeah, I mean that's kind of like
most games,
looks like we all have a online first-person shooter deficiency.
Yeah, yeah. None of us are the biggest.
So I will bring up Battlefront when that Star Wars Battlefront hopefully the last time because I know Drew said, "Oh, let's stop talking about Battlefront last time."
Well, it's because we all got into it over something last time. But anyway,
so when I first picked up that game, I was actually doing really well. I was having like 2-to-1 kill death ratio and everything like that.
Wow,
but
that's
then
a lot better than me, sucker.
But then it totally went the opposite way.
Yeah.
The more people started finding this is probably another thing. The more people started finding exploits on the maps.
Yeah, that's it too. Yeah,
like hiding up on, like for instance, in one of the missions, people were hiding up on top of a building that you were not supposed to be able to get up onto. I don't know how they got up there, but they figured out some way. They were just sniping everybody. They'd retreat behind something so you couldn't see them. Then they'd come out and snipe somebody else, and it was bullshit.
Yeah,
and you could tell that
campers.
Yeah, you could tell that that's how they were doing it because at the end of the match they had like insane amounts of kills and very few deaths. So it's just like
see, for first-person online games, I feel like if you're not putting in some time every day, even if you skip a day, you're missing out on what these other players are learning during that day. So by the time you get back in, you're just getting your butt kicked. So it's like
that's where I just don't have the time commitment to put in
I guess that
every day.
I'd rather just have fun in a good single player game than waste my time online. And I know there's a lot of people who feel the opposite way. So nothing against people who do that. Who are
no, of course not.
So back to you, Sai. Do you have any other weaknesses?
Not that I can think of.
Oh, we each had 2, and you had to have just 1.
So not Metal Gear Solid 5 at all? No.
No, not whatsoever, Drew.
All right.
I just want to add one more thing to my strengths that I forgot to mention was real-time strategy games. I do enjoy those, and I feel like I'm able to jump into those pretty easily. So.
Yeah, that's another one that I have to give a try. I'd probably be bad at them once I do, but
All right, so I think we'll probably do one more. Sorry if we didn't get to your question this week. We saved these and we'll answer them next time. So this comes in from Anonymous. Just another reminder that if you do want your name read, if you want credit for these, make sure you sign it so I know who you are. But this one came in anonymously and it says, have you ever thought of doing like a gameplay thing with commentary? Maybe with a scary game or something?
Well, when there's a scary game out there that we can actually get scared by, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that seems like that could be fun, like seeing our reactions to a scary game.
Oh, yeah.
And Drew and I are currently going through The Last of Us.
Yeah, that has some scary parts. I would definitely not say that's the scariest game.
No, I mean, not specifically scary, but just gameplay with commentary.
Yeah, you and I have done a few. We did the Tomb Raider, we did the Star Wars Battlefront, and a couple other games. Yep.
So we do have some of that. Head over to the GamerHolics Facebook page. the GamerHolics YouTube channel, and you can find some of those. We categorize them under rundowns.
Yeah.
To kind of, basically saying this is a rundown of the game, not a review, but just here an overview of it, explaining the ins and outs of it and stuff like that. And that's definitely us playing the game with commentary. So yeah, we have done those, and we're definitely looking to do more in the future. So look out for those. All right, so those are some great questions that we had. There were some that we didn't get to, but don't worry if your question wasn't addressed in this episode. We'll definitely bring them up in a future episode. And that's going to wrap it up for episode number 11 of the Mega Gamecast, guys. You can get at us on Facebook, the GamerHolics YouTube group. You can check us out on YouTube, thegamerholics.com, all sorts of places. Most importantly, though, check out the Tumblr. megagamecast.tumblr.com, where you can submit us questions. And in the future, we're going to think about doing like a question of the month or a question of the week or something like that, and maybe give out a little bit of a prize. So that should incentivize you to send in your questions. Maybe you'll get something out of it.
We love questions, people. Love them.
Yep. We love to hear from all our fans and our haters alike. So please send in your questions and your comments.
The more haters, the more successful you are. That's my attitude.
That's right.
I love it.
And you can follow me at on Twitter at @RyanShepard_.
LA Drew 87.
The real Cy Cuddy.
It's real Cy Cuddy, not the real Cy Cuddy.
Yeah, but I am the real Cy Cuddy.
We discussed this
real
before.
Cy Cuddy at the real Cy Cuddy.
At real Cy Cuddy.
There we go. At LA Drew 87. There we go.
Real Cy Cuddy.
All right, there we go. And that's gonna wrap it up.
All right.
See you guys next time.
Good episode, boys.
Have a good one, everybody.
See ya.